excellence. So their confidence level, that's an outcome. Then we mentioned that because we are going to have resources that we're going to use, we are hoping that the external practice will increase because we keep the service going. So you must realize that your output and your outcome will not be the same. The output is direct product, exactly what this thing will deliver to the society. The outcome, so when you deliver this, what you do is the effect is almost like this. Impact is long term because you get to the point where you have impact. This is it understood. And like I said, this is where AI will help you. You can give prompt AI, give a brief description of what you want to do, then upload your objectives and tell it to generate the outcome, the output, the outcome, the activity, the impact. You can tell it to do that. They don't use it as it is. It will backfire. Once it brings it out, go back to your objective and match. Whether what you brought up is related to your objectives. You know this guy, this will not work. I'm just telling you, I'm being very frank. Because you know, you work in it, until you start working on this proposal, that's when you know the workload and stuff. Alright. So we're going to have research output, is there your proposal, you have research output. So your outcomes. So how do you know the difference between outcomes and outputs? Output, you use your numbers to specify. We are going to develop 5,000 is, 300 is, 200 is, 100 persons to benefit. Specify. If you're using data like female students, specify the number of those and the number of those. Use your numbers for that output. Very important. Okay. Then we now move to the project impact. If you look at the TechFund proposal, they said your impact should be divided into social, economic, and technological. So you're not just doing general impact. So what will be the social impact? What will be the economic impact? What will be the technological impact? You're going to isolate each of these. You see, when you work on things, by the time your PI goes to the client, all the PI will do is copy and work. That's what was the plan. Now we move on.
We can copy it.
Alright?
It is produced.
So that's what we have here. We isolated as economic impact. We have social impact, then economic, and then technological. So that's what we developed here. Then we now go to the focal of research. Literature review. The part of research that most people don't like. So you're going to do your literature review. Please check the number of words. If there are none, then use your discussion. Then I'll post the screenshots I did for each page of the proposal guideline. So your literature review. After the literature review, we're moving straight into the research methodology. Be very detailed. Be very detailed. Tell us the design that you're using. Explain the study area. Tell us the population, the sample and sample. Tell us the instruments you want to use. If this work will be done in 5 phases, explain. You know you are going to do a Gantt chart. Not everyone will use it. But no funder will use money like that. Funder will make sure that you work hard for the money. You will do a Gantt chart. And this is where be very explicit in your methodology will help you to extract your activities. And when you're able to extract your activities, it's easy for you to do your Gantt chart. We'll get there. I have 3 here. So to give you an idea of what to do. So in your methodology, don't cut corners. Please, don't cut corners. Be procedural. Explain procedure by procedure what you intend to do. So in our own case, we had phases. And for each phase, we mentioned the activities that we are going to do for each phase. So that's what we have in our methodology. We've also talked about how many months each phase will take and each activity will take. Be very procedural. This is not like our students' work. You see students, when you tell them, go and write methodology, they don't go and summarize. You can't summarize this one. This one will have to tell us every procedure, every step. But it's an advantage for you because when you know midway, when you are eventually you are going all the way to go to Abuja, then and the funds are released. Be down to a procedure. Enable you give reports. You be giving reports midway to 10 months. You don't wait until the end of the whole period. So you'll be able to give reports because you said phase 1 will take 3 months, for the 3 months, this one will be this one. So once the 3 months are about to expire, you are looking through to see if you covered the activities you listed. So it's a lot easier for you. Are we together? Are we getting overwhelmed? Don't be overwhelmed, then it's too early. Don't worry, once you do one, all right, so be very, very detailed. Okay, if you look at methodology, we even talked about the kind of quality of camera that we're going to use. We mentioned it because we said the training is going to be hybrid. That's what we told them. Because we know that we might not be able to cover 3,000 lecturers at once in the whole of Niger Delta. So we're going to have some lecturers being trained on YouTube. They'll be watching the session live. So we need good phones, we need good cameras. We even mentioned it then in the methodology. We made it very, very explicit, very clear. Are we? And if you are using multi-stage sampling to finally drop your sample, make sure that you explain each stage. Don't lump them up. So stage 1 is what we tend to do to carry to draw the sample. So if your stage 1 you're using applied random sampling technique, you say you're putting these questions into different strata. These are the strata you are considering. Then stage 2 you use simple random sampling technique to choose also number of strata from what you've done. And then stage 3 you want to use compulsive sampling. Make sure that you explain stage by stage. Are we good? All right. Then for instruments, it's the same thing you're going to do. Be very explicit in your instruments. Like here, we mentioned that we're using structured interviews for qualitative data, and then we're using questionnaire for quantitative data. We mentioned every section that the questionnaire will cover and every item that will be in the questionnaire. We talked about the different statistics we're going to use. All these will be covered in your methodology. Are we good? Are we good? Yes. All right. So let's go to project activities and outputs. All these are what you will see in your guideline, your proposal guideline. So what TEFLON wants you to do is, everything you said you've done, break them down into different activities and the outputs for each activity. So to help you, it's always good to look at your objectives. Your objectives will help you draw up activities. Okay? That's why I said you can use so your activities will enable you, your objectives will enable you know what activities to do. So that's why I suggested that if you want to use AI, you can give AI your objectives. Then please don't just put your objectives, they're prompting. That's why I say prompt engineering is important. I'll talk with Dr. so that we get to see if we can do a small arrangement on prompting for you as quickly as we can, because it's going to really help you. So when you prompt, there are strategies you are going to use for the prompting. Then you are going to upload your objectives and then tell AI to use those objectives to develop activities, outcomes, output, and impacts. Okay? So that will make it easier for you. So once it has developed it, you can now sit and start working on it. Okay? Not just humanizing alone. Ensure that the activities there are things you carry out. Because you will give accounts. You will give account to. So ensure that the activity, don't just take what AI is giving you. Before it will tell you that one of the activities you are going to travel across. And then you look at the money they are giving you. You start asking yourself, how will you do with visa, hotel, and all that? So go through those activities, eliminate what you know will not work. Very important. So for each activity, you are going to put an output or two, if possible. So in our own case, you can see activity 1. We are going to design and develop instructional materials, resources. That's activity 1. So what will be our output? A set of high quality training materials. Activities, please, I forgot. Activities are always written in present tense. Activities are always written in present tense. Okay. So for each activity, have like minimum of 2 outputs if it's possible. If it's not, 1 can fly, but it's always better if you have up to 2. So activity 2, these are the outputs. You state the activity and tell us the output from that activity. And if you remember, what did we say we should do with outputs? Who can remember something we said? You should be specific and mention your words, mention your numbers. So as we are mentioning the output for each of these activities, please don't forget to mention your numbers. Are we good? Everything you are seeing here is exactly what is in your proposal guideline. That's what your plan, that's what you're supposed to do. That's what you're supposed to do. Then you're going to indicate your time frame using a Gantt chart. So you don't have to break your head designing a Gantt chart. Go to Microsoft Word. Just go to Microsoft Word, insert your table. And what are you expected to do here? What you're expected to do is list your activities on one side, use colors to show us how many months those activities will take. Some of the activities might overlap, as you can see. I do this myself. And when you're working in groups, if you are in up to 15 groups, don't hold information. See, you see this academic growth. Everybody must grow. Everybody must grow. And the more we grow, the better for the system. So holding information does not help you. So once you do this, like that's what we did. We did 21 groups. Immediately I was able to hit this, I sent it out. Every other group was able to put theirs together. Once I was able to do the monitoring and evaluation aspect, because that's that very technical aspect, I sent it out. It was a guide for others to follow through. This thing called grant funding, if one person wins, everybody wins. Because tomorrow that person that won is the person you will give your work to one day and say, please, go through it for me. So we don't want information. So if you're able to succeed in doing this and somebody says, help me, please help. So just use Microsoft Word. That's what I did here. I didn't bother going to Excel. Excel is not my strength. Though I can use the basics, but it's not my strength. So I just worked with what I had. So I was able to look at my activities, listed them out, and then put the months. So if your proposal is for 24 months, you're going to put the months up to 24 and tell us what you're going to be doing. Okay? Are we good? Now we move to another thing. You see, for each activity, TEDFORM requires you to indicate key performance indicators, KPI. So what is KPI? What do you mean by key performance indicators? Very important. Remember, we had already isolated output for each activity, right? Can you remember? And where do we get our activities from? Where do I suggest you get your activities from your objectives. Just tell AI to help you. But after indicating activity and output, at a point, TEDFORM still expects you to indicate activity and KPI. In other words, what do you want to see to show that you have achieved this activity? What are the performance, things that will indicate that I have achieved this activity or it's in the process of being achieved? Those are KPIs. So look at one example. Our first activity, we said design and development of Gen AI training materials, which will include booklets, manuals, and digital resources. So what will indicate that we have achieved this or about to achieve this? Look at what we stated. 1, at least 80% of the Gen AI training materials will be designed and developed within 4 months. So if within 4 months we have not developed 80%, that means we have not performed, achieved that activity. I don't know if you're getting what I'm trying to say. So KPIs are different from outputs. Outputs, you just state numbers. KPIs, you give us time. Numbers are important. Percentages, frequencies, time lags, timelines for your key performance indicators. For that same activity, we said 90% of the developed materials will meet the quality standards as evaluated by a panel of experts. Meaning that within the 4 months, we would have finished developing and given it to what? Experts. Who would have vetted and said, yes, your materials are good. We also said at least 85% of the training materials will be deemed relevant and applicable to lecturers, as assessed through a pilot test. So with KPIs, you must indicate frequencies, timelines. They are very important. There's work in this proposal, so we're just starting. You know, it's usually very, very exciting when you open the PI, you open your platform and you see approved, concept notes, you are dancing. This is where the work starts. This is where the work starts. But if you assign, you delegate, you get it done. That's for activity 1. For activity 2, all we just did was copy our activity from the initial place where we had done it. And then we started developing performance indicators. If you look at our activity 2 here, we said we are going to do a pre-intervention data collection. We want to see currently what are lecturers' attitudes towards Gen AI, what's their self-efficacy, what's their percentage of use, we want to evaluate that first. So, what will show that we have achieved this activity? What will show it? So, let's see. First indicator. The pre-intervention data will be collected from at least 90% of the targeted lecturers within. Are you seeing our use of timelines and percentages? That is how we show that I am sure that I have achieved this activity. It's a guide for you to even help you. So each time you keep looking at your key performance indicators, so it's about 1 month. What have we done? It helps you know that I'm running out of time. Are we good? And so it goes on and on and on for every activity. So if you have 7 activities, you're going to do KPIs for each activity. Sorry, this part, that's why I said I couldn't do PowerPoint, because this one is PowerPoint happened. Okay, monitor and evaluation mechanism. Okay, monitoring and evaluation mechanisms. So this is aligned to your objectives, the M&Es. The M&Es are aligned to your objectives. So you're going to pick one objective and tell us how you're going to monitor and evaluate that objective. Don't worry, AI is there to help you. Don't feel overwhelmed. Even with this M&E, I had to ask AI to assist. And then I came back, looked at it, and started changing some things that will not work for us. The AI gives you the heads up, that's the big thing. It will give you the heads up first. And then you come back, look at that heads up it has given you, and adjust it, okay? To suit what will fit your performance. Okay? So, objective 1, we now gave our mechanisms for monitoring and evaluation. We're going to track the number of lecturers. Remember we said objective 1, we're training 3,000 lecturers, right? So what are we going to do to monitor this? We're going to use attendance registers and digital signings So we're planning to use electronic locking and manual registers. So for us to be able to know how many lecturers are actually part of the training. That's our M&E for that objective one. Then we're going to be training, evaluating the sessions using feedback forms. We're going to monitor the number and types of training materials that are being distributed. That is our M&E for objective one. You do the same thing for the second objective, for the third objective. Remember, this one is what mechanism will you use to monitor the project. It's different from KPI. KPI is how can we tell that you have achieved this objective? How can we tell? We can tell if at the end of this period, 80% of persons have done this. That's KPI. But this one is how will you evaluate? How will you monitor what's happening? So this is how we're going to monitor it. Objective by objective. Are we good? Okay. Then the next thing we need is dissemination strategies. For every funder, every grant funding opportunity, this plays a very crucial role. Every funding opportunity. They don't want you to go and do that project and keep it in the shelf, like the projects our students are doing. They want you to tell the whole world that you have done a project sponsored by them. That's not only for TechFund, it cuts across all funding organizations. So you're going to tell us how you are going to disseminate your project outcomes. Conference presentations, workshops organized, seminars, webinars, articles published, sharing the M&E findings with stakeholders, policy briefs, all these will be part of your dissemination strategy. Don't put what you will not do. They will hold it against you. Don't include what you will not do. Don't make it sentimental just to get the money. Are we together? So everything you know you need to disseminate the output, the outcome of your project, include it there. Include it there. Are we good? Alright, so the next thing on our guideline is profile of research team members. That's the next thing. This is where everybody's going to send his bio. And I think there's a limited number of words for everybody's bio put together. So if they say 600 words, that's like 10 in your team. So divide 600 by 10. It will tell you how many words per person. That's how we did it. That's how we worked it out. We did 600 divided by 10. So it helped us know how many words per person. But we realized that our very junior colleagues did not have so much to write. So some of them did not give us up to 60. So that gave us an idea. So we decided to do, okay, for the professors, the associate professors, let's give like 65. Then for the very junior ones, we can give like 45. So that at the end of the day, we don't exceed 600. That means you're going to put your best foot. Because imagine when somebody is telling you 60 words, tell us about yourself. It's not enough. Best foot forward. And that best foot forward is not where you have traveled to. It is the aspect of your bio that is relevant to the TechFund proposal. That's the best foot forward. Because if you go and tell them that you graduated from Harvard, and the course you did has nothing to do with this thing you are writing, you have not achieved anything. So the aspect of your career, which is going to be an advantage for this proposal, is what you are going to do. So if you look at mine, I mentioned my area of specialization, and underneath I said special interest in AI in education and research. And then I included that I have done so many workshops and equipped hundreds of individuals in AI skills. With that, they know that the PI is what? Qualified. Are you getting the point? So that part of your career that will be an advantage for this proposal. And you're going to do the same. You see, if you don't work with your team members, if one team member delays you, in fact, that was the problem we had with the proposal that Professor Nduka was talking about. Because the literature review came messed up, we reassigned to another group. They also went to use AI. It came back messed up. So I had to sit and do the literature review myself. That was the time I should have used to complete the budget. So by the time I finished the literature review, I now entered the budget. I found out that it was not a clean account. Professor Nduka and I were up till 1. We were chatting because I was not in town. We were chatting on WhatsApp just to see if that budget would be. And the budget, TETFund made the budget technical in such a way that once you impute the wrong thing, don't worry, thank God for this workshop. We didn't have this kind of training. So you people are so blessed to have this training. People who have gone through it, educating you to make it easy for you. All right. So after talking about your research team members, everybody will bring his bio. I think there's a point where they have to bring their passports. So start telling them now. The next thing you're going to do is research work, so dates. So you're going to bring in everybody's research work they have done that are related to this as much as possible, up till the time you are submitting this proposal. So if you look at what we have here, we have research work from most of our team members. Dr. Abrates was a member of our team. You can see her work on AI. She authored with my PhD student, published another work on AI. Then my PhD student and myself, another work on AI. Then Dr. Chinda, another work. Professor Nduka, another work. So much on AI, because that's our strength, that's what we are going for. So you can see everything AI, you have to bring them in. That's why I said, as much as possible, ensure that your team members have done something related to the work that you people are pushing on. Okay? Then the next thing you're going to do is ongoing research works. So outside this proposal, is there any other thing you are working on? At least members of your team. So we listed here the BBC R&D of my university, called myself as Adeshope, and a few other professors, to apply for a $300,000 grant for the university. So this was what we were working on. So I included that. Then myself and that oncologist I told you about, we're doing something, we're designing a digital game for breast cancer. So I included that. And Dr. Chinda and Dr. Wong brought what they were doing, as you can see. Everything we were working on. Previous research grants in the past 5 years, new. Because they indicated past 5 years. I've not checked the current one, what they did. Past 5 years new, so we mentioned that. Group research. They want to know whether this your team, you people will successfully work, complete the work without quarreling, without somebody leaving the group and saying you will not give me enough money. So what are they asking for? What collaborative activities have you people done before to show that you people can work, you'll be in sync? Are you getting that point? To show that you'll be in sync. So what did we do? I listed team members I have worked with. Oh, sorry. I think I'm jumping. Sorry. This part, we'll come to that. This part is what each person is going to do. Sorry, that's for this part. What each person is going to do. So, members of the research team are assigned the following tasks. So, the PI, what the PI will do, Then we have Professor Wonu and Dr. Buko from ROSU, what they are going to do. Dr. P. Sigwe and Dr. Chinda and Dr. Uwe Wilam, what they are going to do. Other co-researchers. Are you seeing what we did? Every team member with the specific task that they are going to do. You will get to that point. I think you should be taught handling that task. When you will mention group work you have all done. So, Professor Wonu and I have done a lot of group work together. We indicated that he has worked a lot with Professor Buko, I've worked with Dr. Buko, I've worked with Dr. Buko. We indicated that he has worked a lot with Dr. Igwe, Dr. Chinda. We indicated that. So, you're going to mention how you people have collaborated so that midway somebody will not run away and leave the team. So, I think at this point, I'm going to leave the rest of the proposal headings for Professor Shoni to take over. After her presentation, we are going for questions and answers. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much, Professor Esther F. Thompson. That was apt and timely. Another round of applause for her, please. There's something about her I enjoy so much. I don't know, were you better on a Sunday? Because you're so beautiful and to be a professor. Let's appreciate her once more. Okay, so while we're comparing notes, I'm sure you want to check what your colleague has written or have a brief music interlude, so that we can achieve that very quick, in less than 5 minutes, so that we can move on to the next training session. Thank you. Music interlude, please. Okay, Shadra suggested brief exercise, so let's quickly finish up with the comparing of notes and then we'll stretch.
Please, can I sit down? Can I sit down there? Sure, you can.
Please, don't go far. Because the way you are carrying your bag is like you are leaving. Okay, drop your bag. You are leaving.
We have just 3 minutes to stretch. No need to go far. Just 3 minutes. Thank you for your cooperation.
They listen to her for cow. I'm not shocked now. They do this. They can't wonder who they do this.
Where?
What's that car? What's that car? I'm not getting sorry. That's the boss who said, who is good? They listen to her. Because then they wonder how.
Okay, if you're outside, let's If you can hear me from outside, can we come in so we can move on to the next item?
I didn't drink. I did on the gate. They were protesting for more than 1 hour. So I can't go from that gate. They said, okay, come over to the right gate. And I went there, and I said, it's 12. That was something I just had that.
Because I sent your as students when you don't come, you was outside of the state. I said you push back for your house.
But the link has been sent now. The link of this video now.
Okay, so this is
Yes, it's been sent. I don't know which group you are in, but I've sent it.
around.
Is it this one? Is it this one? What of these ones?
Yes, I'm on that.
This one, yes, so it's here. So you can send this particular link and you will get it later. Nice to see you, longest time. Welcome. Thank you.
I'm partnering with her to so that when I'm there, because I don't want to put myself in a message and so it's on LinkedIn. Oh, like
Ladies and gentlemen, can we get settled so we move on to our next item, please? Let's get settled. All those outside, if you can hear me, can we come in? Hello, can we all come in? Let's go and get seated. Please call your colleagues. We're about to start.
everybody can hear us. Richard, with your cheers.
It's okay. Thank you very much for your patience. It goes to show that you're really ready and eager to learn. That takes us to our next aspect of the training. Don't worry, refreshment is coming our way soon. As I request the pleasure of Professor Keziah actually to take us through the next training. Thank you very much. Let's appreciate him.
All right. Our Vice Chancellor, Professor Kochikon, earlier represented by my own deputy. I call him the Dean of the University, as the Dean of Faculty of Education, Professor Living Mr. and our librarian at his side, Dr. Obu, our other professors and associate professors present here, and all our colleagues, my colleagues, who are very, very anxious to get this done. I heard all of you, it is not a small job, and it's not a small room, a little room that you have decided to take. The people that are getting it, you must get it. Are we in agreement? I was just thinking how some of us that walk on a lonely road got it. We suffered. And I want to use this opportunity to thank the R&D director who has devoted his time, his energy, his resources to make sure that we get to this point. Hello. You can see the great thing and just so many things created platform. On the platform, I don't even think he speaks. Because sometimes we'll be posting things in the midnight. I say, there's this man's sleep. Doing this like it is his own private business. And I love him for that. I also want to thank our Vice Chancellor for encouraging us, doing this training for us for free. Completely for free. He is investing is rather spending to do this. And so please, I want us to appreciate our Vice Chancellor and appreciate the R&D director and the resource persons here. Please. I believe we can do better. Okay, my colleague, Professor Fonsi, has taken it at work, which she did very she entered into the inner and mentioned so many things. Professor Fonsi, you have so much energy. Thank you so much. And so my own part is part two. And I assure you it's going to come very simple. Just 3 topics, they're very simple topics. The host institution, you will see it in the required outline. Host institution, what you say there, what you write there. The second one is financial aspect of the project. Financial aspect of the project. That is the budget which terrified us last year, made us to cry. In fact, we did it several times without getting it. And if you don't get it, that page will not move. That means your proposal cannot be submitted. If you don't get it right, that page will not move. So it was a very Herculean task. But we thank God that we tried again and we got it. But with you, it's going to be very easy. Hello? It's going to be very easy. You see, because they say experience is the best teacher. Don't wait for you to be the first person to experience it, because but if you want to learn from other people's experience, it's easier. So by the time you learn from other people's experience, please remember to appreciate those people that learn their experiences to you. Okay. Now, host institution. Under the host institutions, we have 4 major subheadings. 4 major subheadings. And of course, the host institution here, we are trying to prove to TED Fund that you are a staff of a tertiary institution in this country, and that you know your institution so well, and you believe and trust your institution, that your institution will back you up and support you and provide every available, possible, relevant facilities and equipment, both emotionally and otherwise, for you to succeed in this project. And so the first topic there is, subtopic there is office and laboratory space. Office and laboratory space. If your project does not need laboratory, it must need office. Hello? Hello? Then equipment and materials you need. And the third one is equipment and materials available in nearby institutions. Remember that my fellow trainer had emphasized, and even the R&D director also emphasized, that this project is not something that you should do alone. In fact, TED Fund advises and encourages and makes it mandatory that all the members of your team must not come from your institution. Must not come from your institution. You must show collaboration, because we are in the era of collaboration. You must show that collaboration by getting people from the nearby institutions. Like in my team, not just nearby institutions all over Nigeria. If you are going through Nigeria, you have to. In my team, we have people from UST, from UNICAL, from Eastern Nigeria, we have people from the Northern Nigeria. They are all institutions you must incorporate. So what equipment and materials are you going to get from those institutions to write them? And then other technical support. Let's move on. The office and laboratory space. Here you are going to tell TED Fund a brief background history of your institution. A brief background history. For instance, those of us say a brief background history, goals and missions of IAU. Brief. Remember, Professor Ponce had already told us that's a space created for every subject. So don't write too much. If you write too much, you have wasted your time. Just go straight to the point. So there you show the background history of IAUE, the goals and the missions. Again, you show the qualities possessed by your institution that will support your research topic. Show the qualities possessed by your institution that will support your research topic. Also showcase and convince readers or assessors that your institution has all it takes to ensure complete accomplishment of the project. Show them, convince them that your institution has all it takes to accomplish this research. Let me help you by reading briefly what I wrote. Okay, under those institution and then other office and laboratory, for instance, I wrote here, and by the way, keep quoting the topic of your project from time to time. Keep quoting it. You might not quote it verbatim as it is, but you can use acronym. You can use acronym. And that acronym, introduce it. Bring in that acronym under your introduction. Give that your research topic an acronym. For instance, the acronym for my research is LMLPE dash literacy stroke numeracy in rural schools. LMLPE dash literacy stroke numeracy in rural schools. If you know my topic, you will know that thing, that L there, what it stands for, M, mobile learning, and so on and so forth. So under institution, I wrote the proposed initiative LMLPE dash literacy numeracy in rural schools will be led by Ignatius Andrew University of Education, a reputable public state premier educational institution dedicated to advancing educational opportunities in underdeserved communities. That was my first sentence. Then I followed by saying the institution has its root in the Rivers State College of Education, which was established in 1971 and upgraded in 1909 to a university and renamed Ignatius Andrew University of Education. Since then, our institution has a proven track record of implementing successful educational interventions and technical solutions in rural and low-resource settings. And then I continue with a mission. See how I'm bringing in the mission. You know, because when I say put and they are not going to apply it like that, you have to incorporate it. With a mission to bridge the educational divide, we are committed to enhancing learning outcomes through innovative approaches and a strategic partnership. Our institution is equipped with the necessary infrastructure to support the proposed project. We are committed to ensuring the sustainability and scalability of the mobile learning platform beyond the project period. And so on and so forth. Then I ended by saying, in summary, Ignatius Andrew University of Education possesses the organizational capacity, experience, and the resources necessary to effectively implement and manage LMLPE dash literacy numeracy in rural schools projects. Our proven track record, combined with strategic partnership and a commitment to sustainability, positions us well to achieve the project's goal and make a significant impact in education in rural Nigeria. That's how I sold the institution to the committee. Nobody will read this and think that Ignatius Andrew University is near Iwofe or near Iwofe River. You know, some people will say Iwofe University. I have sold the institution and they made the assessors know that we have all these things. Then we move on to qualities. You know, you mentioned the qualities of the institution that support your research topic and all the rest of them. All these have been embedded in this brief write-up I have here. Then we have equipment and materials. It is at this point now that you will list all the facilities and equipment. If you are doing something in agriculture, show the assessors that we have, maybe give them the size of the land for agriculture in Ignatius Andrew University. If you are working in the lab, prove to them that you have the equipment. So show the facilities and materials available in your institution that will support the success of the project. For instance, adequate workstation. Do you have office? Do you have tables? Sure. Space and well-equipped offices with tables and chairs. You have it. ICT tools. Of course, I don't know whether there is any topic in this era that you will not use ICT to accomplish. Professor some thinkers talking about AI. Of course, you cannot do AI or use AI without internet facility. Hello. So you have to show that this institution has ICT tools, broadband internet facilities to support this project, proper lighting, and steady electricity. Of course, we know, even though it might not be steady, we believe it to be steady by the time we get the project approach. Do you believe that? Yes. After all, most of us are fasting now. So fast very well and begin to confess positively that there will be light to support. So tell them there is light in Ignatius Ajuru University to ensure efficiency, effectiveness, and convenience during the data collection, analysis, and interpretation. Make it very brief. Foxy has emphasized that don't begin to bring in unnecessary words. Okay, the next one is the equipment and materials available in the nearby institution. Why did you choose UST? Why are you taking somebody from a Uniport? What is that institution standing to give in support of this project? So there you need, of course, you emphasize on collaboration, very important. Collaboration with experts. You are first and foremost getting experts from those institutions. Then from those institutions, you're also getting, all assistance that you need from UST, from Uniport, from any institution you can have incorporated. Again, you can also mention, if you are in education, for instance, I mentioned Ministry of Education, Federal Ministry of Education. It's a nearby institution that I can get something from. National Information Technology Development Agency, NIDA. Non-governmental organizations, you can get something from there. Community-based organizations, such as African Library Project, and so on and so forth. Mention as many organizations, as many institutions outside your own institution, and of course take what you stand to get from them. Now, other technical support referring to your institution will include research ethics approval, assistance with obtaining research ethics approval from AIAU Ethics and the Conduct Committee. There are people that will sign at the end of the day. VC will sign your work. R&D director will sign your work, and so on and so forth. Computer hard and software. You may move into any of the offices to use their materials. Network opportunities, accommodation and logistics, mentorship program, very, very important. What we are doing, what we did first one and this second one are just mentorship programs. We are mentoring you to get it. No wonder the number of concept notes approved in this institution increased. Before this time, I don't think we were getting anyone. The last year, some of us struggled to get up to 2. And we have mentored our colleagues to increase it to 8. With further mentoring, as you go, you mentor others. You see, by this year, we may even increase to 30, 50. And so the day we are going to Abuja to defend our project, we may even charter an aircraft. And we carry on ourselves. Our business is a good man, he can do it. He will charter an aircraft and they say, concept note from Ignale is coming into Abuja, and we will close down one hotel. Enter there. That is mentorship. Mentorship. So you will be mentored. As we are doing this now, we are still going to be mentoring most of you until you succeed. So anything you are doing you don't understand, approach us. We will do it. That is the mentorship. That's one of the supports you are going to get or you are getting from your institution. Okay, let's go to the big one. Budget proposal. Budget proposal that brings out blood. Not, you know, when you cry and people say you are crying out blood, then that cry is no more ordinary cry. That made us cry out blood last year. But from experience, we can kill it. We have killed it. We have made it very simple. Very simple. As a matter of fact, anybody here that knows how to do 1 plus 1, you can do this budget. Yes, you can do this budget. All that you need to do, note first and foremost, that the budget proposal should not be less than 2 million and should not be more than 50 million. Hello? Hello? And note that what if you quote, even if you quote 3 million, TechFund might not give you 3 million. Are you so correct? They will reduce it. Yes, they will reduce it. They won't give you everything you put there. And then, maybe your research is within a warfare here, and you are quoting 50 million. It will be very, very outrageous. It's like you want to steal government money. So use your discretion and put your budget. Put your budget. If on your own maybe little splitting study you did is giving you about 23 million, you can make it 27 or 30. Hello? Hello? I know it very well that TechFund will not give you that 23. So add something small so that when they are giving you, when they come back, they may even land on that place where you wanted to be. Hello? So with that, you have your budget. Let's say now 43 million. They don't put exactly 43 million. Put something by the side. Are we together? Maybe you put 43,715,900 naira. Are we together? Are we together? Don't make it a straight jacket budget. So when you have taken that stand, now note that we have personnel. The budget is shared into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 subheadings. 7 subheadings. The first one is personnel, followed by equipment, followed by laboratory, data collection and analysis, travel and accommodation, because when you travel out of your station, you are going to be accommodated somehow in a hotel. Then followed by report writing,
It's okay,
which can be
people that
classified
watch
as
it are
with
going to
other miscellaneous, and then you have dissemination of results. And note that all these subheadings have percentages approved by TechFund. Percentages approved by TechFund. Don't go higher. Higher, in fact, that page will not use. And if the page does not accept, you will not move forward. So you see the percentages are allowed by TechFund here. For personnel, 20% of that your 43 million, take for equipment, 25% is allowed, not more than that. Laboratory consumables and consumables 15%. Data collection and analysis 12%. Travel 5%. Report writing and other miscellaneous contingency, whatever, and all the rest of them 19%. And then dissemination of results 3%. Please, can somebody add up these percentages for us to see whether it's correct? 99%, okay. That 99% you can add it to report writing. Are you sure? 99. Okay. Add it up. So what I'm trying to say is that for this year's proposal, they attached percentages to all these. But coming to report writing, there was no percentage attached to it. So that is where you can play a little. Are we together? But you see, carrying any percentage to any of the places where they have given you percentage, that page will not close and you will suffer very well. Until the date expires, it will not close. And if it does not close, how do you upload? Are we together? Okay. So with this percentage now assigned, you can now move on to write out or give the solution of 20% of 43 million. Are we together? So you can now begin to solve it. First and foremost, solve this mathematics. 20% of 43 million, what you have quoted, you keep doing it. 25% is this. 15% is this. Who and who cannot do percentage? Who cannot do simple percentage? You can ask your primary 3 people around you. Say, boy, junior, come and do, they will tell you the formula of percentage. If you cannot do, raise your hand and we tell you. But I believe everybody here can convert percentages to number. Okay? So 15%, 12%, 5%, 20% as the case may be, and 3%. Are we together? Are we together? Now, when you have done that, believe me, I was trying to put up everything, but time could not permit me to do that. Now, under personnel, we have PI, that is the principal investigator, number 1. Under personnel, who are the members of the personnel? Principal investigator, number 1. Research assistant or co-researcher, as you may wish to call. That is the next level following the principal investigator. Are we together? And most of those people should be professors and degrees. They should be people whose CV and their achievements can boost your presence or your ability to get the grant. So you put them. Then we have, like in my own, I have local educators because I'm a teacher. I will use teachers in rural areas. So I caption them local educators. So you will capture your own based on who the category of people you are going to use. Are we together? Okay. Then I have administrative support. So about 4 of them under personnel. When my colleague was speaking, he said that you will be paid salary every month. It might not necessarily be every month, but because by the time you look at the percentage, you have about 15 persons in your team, and you begin to share this thing every month. It may be 10,000. I tell you, it may be as small as 10,000. So what I'm doing, or what I plan to do with my team is that after 6 months, I can gather and pay something in bulk. Or I pay something in bulk first month, then wait till, are we together? Are we together? I don't know how a professor will feel At the end of the month, you give the person 10,000. It will not be too much, but you will use your discretion anyway. All right. Now, what I'm trying to say is that for all these people, you are sharing that 20%. You are sharing that 20% for them. And that 20% you are sharing for them, the PI will not get more than 40% of that 20%. Note it down. Don't say, oh, because you are the PI, like our direct advisors, oh, you know it, you want to write it alone and chop the money alone. Therefore, you will not agree. When your salary is more than 40%. No. Rather, you should make it lower than 40%. Considering the fact that you have, maybe depending on the number of people in your team, maybe you have about 5 professors or whatever, you cannot give them that little money. So, based on that, the salary for the PI should not be more than 40 cents. Please note that. The way you have done that, you now share the rest to other members of the staff. You share the rest. So, in such a way that by the time you add everything, you are getting that total 20%. Are we together? Are we together? Respond now. So that by the time, don't jump. That is why I have advised you, share these percentages and you work them out. So that by the time you are attaching money for certain things, you know that at the end of the day, you calculate it, it is still hitting that 20% of the budget. Because anything, even if it is 1 naira, more than that 20%, that thing will not close. Because computer is very sensitive. It will not close. So do it to make sure that it is within that budget. Okay, then we move on to equipment. We said that TED fund allows 25% of the total budget for equipment. Equipment varies from topic to topic, from department to department. Hello. So don't come and copy my own, because I'm a teacher and my topic is on rural schools and I'm working on mobile learning. I'm using tablets for children. So it's not the same. It may not be the same. So check the equipment you are going to use. Check the equipment you are going to use and list them. Probably into highest 4 equipment. 4 equipment. And then use your discretion now to share that money. If the equipment of course is good to attach number to that equipment. If you need 20 computers, then write it. If you need power bank 20, then write it. If you need generator, then write it. If you are working in the laboratory, you need test tools, you need attach money cost to those equipment, to each and every one of them. So much that you must be careful to make sure that the sum of the money attached to each equipment is the sum of that 25%. Hello? Don't be in a hurry, because if you are in a hurry, you make mistake and suffer yourself. That's why I advise you to first and foremost share that money into percentages. So that by the end, like for instance here, I have 4 equipment. That's why they said the list and specify. Number 1, you list them. The major ones, I didn't put cables, I didn't put all the smaller things. Just list about 4 and then attach monitoring value to them in such a way that it will correspond with the total that you have already worked on. Are we together? Are we together? All right. Then you move on to laboratory consumables. This particular subheading are the things that you will be using and you want to finish, you buy it again. Hello. I don't know, maybe those of you working in the laboratory, you buy chemical, you are using that chemical, it has finished, you buy it again. That's what they mean here by consumer. If you are not working in the laboratory, you are a teacher, you are working with paper. As you are working using the paper and the ink, you are finishing, you are buying again. Hello, you are using generator, you are fueling the generator, it's finishing, you are buying again. That's what you should add under laboratory students. Are we together? All right. And of course, attach prices and attach costs to each of them. Okay, for instance, in my own supplies and consumables or laboratory and consumables, I have the office supplies and utility as number one under consumables. Office supply and utilities. Number two, contingency fund. You attach cost to them in such a way again that it will sum up to what you have earlier worked out. Then we have data collection and analysis. Data collection and analysis. Under data collection and analysis, you might not necessarily list everything. You have the data collection and analysis. You write what that 12% is. Then travel. There's no research that you will do in your degree. Hello. There must be some form of traveling. If you are not traveling for it, not traveling for a wedding or burial, you are traveling for the sake of that, research. That is what we classify as travel and accommodations. Of course, somebody that has traveled out of his station will have somewhere to, lay his or her head. So travels and accommodation carries 5%. That one you don't need to break it. Then the next one is report writing. In this year now they added report writing. Last year we didn't add report writing. Rather, by the time they approved it, they now told us how many publications we must produce. So report writing, of course, publishing in the Scopus journal can cost as much as 2 million, 3 million naira. And that is why maybe they kept that part flying. And here now we are making it 20%. Are we together? Are we together? Okay. Travel report writing and miscellaneous expenditures, like 20%. Then we have finally dissemination of results. When Professor Fonsi was talking, she mentioned, putting it on radio, doing workshop, If your project requires all that, you have to do it. You have to add it to that dissemination of results. I believe by the time we finish, there will be some questions. Please write down your questions so that we can move out here as quickly as possible. Then finally, we go to justification. Justification. You have quoted big amount. You have to tell TechFund why that big amount should be paid to you. That is what we classify as justification. Writing convincing reasons for each element of the expenditure. For each thing you have written, personnel, what is the BI going to do to warrant that 40% of the 20%? The co-researchers, what are they going to do to warrant this number? And of course, the co-researchers, you have to add their numbers. If there are 4, put it in bracket 4. If there are 3, put it in bracket. Then there, you have to write convincingly why that money should be paid. Take for instance, under PI here, I wrote the PI will be managing, coordinating, and overseeing all aspects of the project. Her responsibilities include developing project timeline, the allocated funds cover her salaries for the duration of the proposed 4 months. Convince them why that money should be paid, and so on and so forth. Then under equipment, for instance, mobile devices for schools, I wrote there that this allocation is for the purchase of tablets for both learners and teachers. These devices will be used to access the mobile learning platform, participate in educational sessions, and engage with project-related content. The estimated cost for each device include hardware and initial setup. So you convince them why that money from point 1 to 2, leaving no stone unturned. Leaving no stone unturned. Okay, that is justification for everything you have written, for everything you have attached money to. You must write the essence of that money. Finally, we have commitments. Commitment here is just like a promise to deliver results by everybody, including the institution. A promise to deliver results by everybody, including the institution. And of course, institution is not a human being. Institution is headed by somebody. For instance, here, our Vice Chancellor should append his signature that he is in support of this project. In the column of, in the template, that you will see when you open it, you will have spaces where the VC will append his signature. And by the time you are submitting, there is a letter that will also go with it. That he is in support, he is aware, and he is in support. And he is promising that this project will go on very well under his watch. Because when anyone comes to see whether the project is going on or not, they will come to the Vice Chancellor. So you are not going to do anything behind him. Hello. The Vice Chancellor must know when you are submitting, in fact, if the signature is not there, no way cannot go on. So the Vice Chancellor, the institution must sign, then the PI must sign, and every member of the team must have a column where you will put the Professor Sponsi also reminded you our attention. Please begin now to request for the passport of the team members, and possibly ask for their electronic signature. If you don't know how to use certain facilities in the laptop or desktop, it is now that you will learn it. If you don't know and you don't want to know, get somebody, a PI or a team member that will assist the team in that area. So they should submit their signatures, the electronic signatures, to the PI. So that it will not be when the PI is uploading, like Professor Ndeka does, and it is just 2 days or 1 day to the end of the submission. You are calling somebody and he say, he is in the village, his line is not going through. That kind of thing can happen. Or that his phone fell into water. And so you can't access him. And you are calling him, no way, not available. And you don't know what to do. Begin today to ask for the electronic signature. Everybody. Signature, very, very important. And I want to stop at this point to allow us to ask some questions. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you very much, Professor Isabel Achoni. You just nailed it. Let's appreciate her once more. So at this point, I would like to feel the pulse of the house if there are any questions. Okay, how many? Can you raise your hands so I know how many of us will take all the questions and turns? Just one person, 2, 3, 4, just 4. Okay.
Thank you very, very much, our resource personnel and the Director of Research and Development. Thank you for gathering us this afternoon. It's an eye-opener and all that. During the concept note submission and the approval given to us, we added some professors about 6, associate prof, 3, senior lecturers, 3, and mentees that we also added them. Now with this approval, will it be possible at this stage of proposal submission, will it be possible to remove some and add that people that might be active, at this stage? Will it be possible to remove some that we feel that may not, like we have these challenges of I am in the village and all that? Will it be possible to remove some and add ones that will be committed to this course? Because we have roughly 18 days to fulfill this program. Thank you.
Thank you, Resource Person. My question is, what value do they base the budget on? Is it the one quoted during the concept notes, or we can vary it at this point?
Thank you, Mr. President. My question is in line with what you just the session. How do we delegate tasks among team members such that when any particular member is overstressed or overstretched with the task, and so that everyone has meaningful contribution to make?
President, thank you to all our resource persons for the sensitization on the issue of concept notes. My own question goes with this. While Professor Powell was talking during the introduction, he did mention that advising for us to write as many concept notes as possible to improve our chances of securing one. And I want to ask, we have a team or a team of persons sitting there at 10 putting up the concept notes. Is it advisable to use the same teammates to put up, say, 5 or 6 concept notes? Or you have to take up other team members? Thank you. And the last person. He said to improve your chances of objectives as possible. And then I'm asking, if you have a team of say 10 persons and you've done one research concerning concept notes, is it advisable you use the same team to write as many concept notes as possible, or you take different team members?
If the PI of our own concept role is not the professor, but team members, their professors can be PI changed.
The microphone is on. Any other? The last person.
My question goes thus. Now, you made mention of whom arguments like maybe postgraduate students. Now, if a particular group wants to be lower cadre lecturers like assistant lecturers, graduate assistant, without any postgraduate student, can we still go ahead with it?
This many questions shows that you are actually listening. When we say, are you following? You keep quiet. And we wonder whether you are sleeping. So we are happy that you are not sleeping. You are listening very attentively. Hello. Okay, the first question says, is it possible to eliminate people at this point? I don't know whether my colleagues will have other answers, but my answer is yes. Yes, when you were writing the concept note, a particular person you chose, before you put somebody, you would have made the person say, I want you to be a member. I'm doing something like this. I want you to be a member of my team. And the person say, okay, that's fine. Thank you very much for having me. And now you call meeting for the first time, the person didn't come. Of course, if your team must have developed a WhatsApp page, even before you submit the concept note. Have a WhatsApp page. Have a meeting, either online or face-to-face. Now, online meeting, the person did not come. And did not say, sorry, I did just like that. You meet the person on any part of the university and say, I'm very, very busy. I'm the chief librarian of the university. And the accreditation team is coming from left and right. And I'm lecturing. I have 700 students to teach and mark their scripts. They just finished it. Then you put another meeting, the person is still coming up with that excuse. My friend, remove the person. That is my own. Unless the person has something he is going to do that no other person can do. Hello. Remove the person now that the money has not been approved. Because when you have suffered like this and the money has been approved and you are removing the person will say, you want chop alone, die alone. Remove the person. That is my own answer. I don't know what my colleagues say. Remove the person. Now the second question says, is it possible to increase the budget? And my answer again to that is yes. Yes, because your eyes are opening. Okay? You are beginning to know what you didn't know before. And it is at this point that the approval is coming. I believe the approval team is not going to look at your concept notes. It's this one that they are going to look at. And it is this one that they will document for you, just like our colleague said. The third one will come for you. They will come looking for you, and their money will have taken. They will want to know those equipment you said you are going to buy, have you bought them? Where is the receipt. They will come for you. So you can increase the budget as long as you can justify it. You know, that's my own answer. I don't know. Then delegation of duties. You don't go to the moon to get somebody. You get somebody you have already known. You have watched the person from near and far, and you know the capability of that person, what the person stands to do in this thing. Now delegate that duty to the people based on their credentials. Are we together? Don't carry mathematical something and give it to somebody, I don't know now, in what department. And you don't, and you know that that person does not have flame. You may be fine and apply as with your sharp. You can dig out results. You can dig out what you don't know. You have that test. You have that tenacity to go for, even have something that you have not done before and you do it. Okay? So, but then I want to warn. Don't say, oh, Professor Ndoka or Professor Pomsi is an all-rounder. An all-rounder. So you carry all the work and give to her. Say, ma, I know you can do all these things. So do it. Remember, when the money comes, you will not give her a loan. If she said, okay, I was the person that did it alone, let me chop a loan, trouble does that. Some people will say, did you ask me and I said I didn't do it? What is in that thing that she has done now that you are giving her all the money? So try out some people, try out people. If you are delegating, give a deadline, give a timeline. Hello? 3 days. Like for instance, a group has coopted me from Oka, University, as far as that time. They coopted me because their PR knows what I'm capable of doing. And I advised her, if you are delegating, put timeline. Don't give timeline of 3 weeks. Or maybe the submission is in the, I don't know, it's about 19 days now. Because every backlog they put on that platform is doing by second, by minute, by hour, by day. Today now is about 19 days. And you delegate, and you tell the person submit in 2 weeks time. You don't want that work. Give them 3 days. 3 days. Submit. Today is what? Friday. Submit by latest Tuesday morning. Or by the end of the day, Tuesday. And watch. And keep shouting on the platform. Submit. And if after 3 days, the person says, I traveled to the village, in the village, and the motor said, and my mother said, and my wife gave birth, and my husband said I should come. All those reasons you said, no problem. Can you bring it, give the person 2 days, not up to 3 days. 2 days. And by 2 days, the person does not submit, give him 1 day again. And by 1 day, the person does not submit. Of course, when the person begins to give this type of excuse, match that person with another person. Hello. Match, so that person will not overlook the thing. Because any of these side subheadings that is not written, your team is not going anywhere. So once somebody begins to give excuse, and you may think of giving the person. And if you see anybody around you that you think can perform, like in this 19 that we are already working, one person at Harvard is not working. The vice chancellor said, my registrar is calling me. Oh, this, that. And the co-researcher at that end kept reporting back to me. I said, look for another person because we must leave. And And she mentioned one lady, and I know, I said, come and put her in that team. So even when your research, your topic is approved, somebody is not working, you can still drop the person. And of course, before you drop, let the person refer enough. Not say now you have seen your sister or your church member. You want to use that person to replace somebody that has been working or that has potential of working. Then you didn't remind you, didn't let that person on. So you know that. It depends, so it depends on what she's doing or who is doing. Can he be changed? Who will change it? The PI is your man. Can you change your man? Hello? I don't know what my colleague can say. Let's look at it this way. The DA registered the project. Whether it's the one I want to pronounce doesn't matter the person. He registered the project. It's on his platform that the concept documents was uploaded. It was on his platform that they approved our project. So if you change the PI, the project is done. Because the UPI used to register with TECMO needs to have an approved concept note. So that's why when you are doing things like this, you don't need sentiment. You know, when the last time before last year, 2024, so I called a friend who's an endocrinologist. I said, come, let's write together, do something. So he was doing something in prostate cancer. He brought me in because he wanted to digitalize it. And he was looking for this professor, I don't look at it and I laugh and I thought, can they work? When we want to share tasks, he said, no. I said, when the money comes, will they be willing to manage? Because that thing you are saying, 47 million, you think is big money. It's not, though. It's not. When you start the project, you see that it's not. You now say, please wait, let me change the numbers. And when I change the people can work it. So it's not good to use sentiment. Don't say this is the time to settle each of these professors. Please don't try it. If you are putting a professor there as a PI, make sure that he's somebody who is willing to work with you on the project. Even if he doesn't have time to work with you with concept notes, the moment it's approved, he has to be involved. Because he's the one who will upload this entire proposal. Section by section, he will have to do it. So you cannot change people, but you can change other team members. And somebody asked us, how would you share the work so that some team members will not overwork? The truth is that some will be overworked. From some to come, I will overworked. Because when you give somebody a literature review, the moment the person submits, he goes to rest. The duty has done his part. You are the one who will have to coordinate everything and do them together. So some people will be overwhelmed. However, do it in such a way that everybody has a fair chance of contributing equally, even though some things will still have to be contributed. I don't know if you get that. And then the person who talked about concept notes, writing several, you heard what Paul said. It's not writing the concept notes. When about 3 or 4 are approved, and it's the same team members, you will suffer burnout. So even if you want to write 7, change the team members. Like what we did, that was 24, we were like 5, was it 4 or 5 of us who were standby on every team. But the remaining 6 persons were coming from different places. So it wasn't as if 10 members across 10 concept meetings. I don't know if you get it. We were 4 of us who were permanent on every team. But the remaining 6 persons were different persons, so that you know how to share the work. Otherwise, you will suffer from burnout.
Thank you very, very much. Let's appreciate Professor Esther F. Thompson and Professor Jose with a better round of applause. Thank you. Let's also give opportunity to the Director of Research and Development to lend his voice on this question and answer session. And Director will give us the visit. Prof, please. Let's appreciate him.
I thank all the participants for staying there, listening, participating, and also for asking questions. And I'm very sure that you are comfortable with the answers that they have, the resource persons have offered to you. I also thank you for finding time to send the topics and the members of the team, the list of the members of the team to us, so that we can always communicate them and also find a way to encourage you to ensure you complete the project. This is just the stage 2. I encourage you to go back, implement all the suggestions they offered, and if you do so, you will pass the stage 2. Then, when your proposal is approved, if your proposals are approved, we will invite you to get all the things we will invite you to this place for another training. And this training will be how you will be able to defend the project. The key of how you will defend the project. So after the training, you can now move to Abuja and defend the project. They talked about members of the team. Please, you can make corrections now. You can make changes, as they told you. There are also things we call unwritten order of things. There's not everything that they can teach you in the classroom. So you go, they have taught you here, they have made suggestions. You also go home, and you also make use of your initiative to ensure that you come out. There will be a good outcome at the end, a successful outcome at the end of the day. So thank you, and we continue to follow up. Please, if you have any concern, you can send message to us or come straight to the center, ask questions, we'll respond. Any difficulties you are having, report to us. We'll find a way to support you to ensure that we pass this stage 2 and get this approval. We'll ensure, we will help you, we support you. Whatever difficulties you have, let us know. Above all, we thank the Almighty God who has made it possible for us to be here today and also to have this project. This concept was approved, and we are here learning to write the proposal, and by the grace of God, they will also be approved. So thank you very much for participating. Thank you, and congratulations in advance, because I know you will have your project also approved. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Nduka Wano. This is where we're going to draw the curtains for today's one-day intensive workshop on research proposal writing. Shall we please stand up and to take the closing prayer? As I request the pleasure of Dr. Mercy Bora to guide us through the closing prayer. Let's stand. Shall we pray? In Jesus' name. Our faithful God, we thank you for today. Thank you for the gift of life.
Thank you, Lord, the privilege you've given unto us to come and learn. Father, we thank you for our instructors you use, the professors you use to teach us this afternoon. Thank you even for the director that brought this initiative. Father, we say to your name be glorified in Jesus' name. Lord, as we depart to our various offices or our homes, we are asking, Lord God, that you will grant us journey mercies. Also, you will help us to put that which we have learned into use, that at the end of it all, your name alone will be exalted. Thank you, faithful Father, for hearing us. In Jesus' name we have prayed.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay, Ma, we have some questions we want to ask you. Okay, Ma, you said something on literature review. Now, we should not use artificial intelligence in writing literature review. Please, we want you to say something little about that.
Yes, it's always important to remember that AI is a research assistant. It's always important to remember that AI is a research assistant, okay? So you do your research, AI can just assist. So you don't go ahead and tell AI to write a literature review. It hallucinates. So you are bound to have errors. If you assign somebody else's work to another person, so referencing citation will be totally messy. So we always suggest that you use good platforms. Google Scholar happens to be a very good tool. You can use it for literature review, and there are some other databases where you can get good articles and you can use for literature review. Now, we don't advise students to depend on AI to write literature review.
What of those, the other ones you mentioned, you say the other tools, like which of them?
We have other databases.
Okay, databases. Like which of them?
We have PubMed, it's a good database. We have Crossref, database. We have Gestor, good database. Several of them that you can use and you can get good articles.
Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you so much for teaching us. Always want to have you around.
Thank you.
Have a nice day.